大家好，随声，这是ElleRuiEr老师 or L 老师 and I'm going to tell you my top tips to learning Mando in Chinese. 如果你不知道我会说中文，
跟着我左手右手一个慢动作，右手左手慢动作重播这首歌。
Okay, so tip number 1 is my secret weapon. I love this thing. Chineseasy. For those of you who don't know, Chineseasy is probably one of the best books ever written for people who have no idea where to start with learning Mandarin, understanding Mandarin, or Mandarin in general. Mainly because it has cute pictures that help you memorize the different words. So even if you have never actually learned the characters, if you just memorize what each of the little like parts of each word, see if it will clear up a little bit and focus. If you just it'll help you learn from just cartoons how words make sense, and this will end up helping you increase your vocabulary, mainly from the basis of you'll just have a lot of words with pictures in your head and you'll be able to recall them, and then over time you'll be able to build sentences and then whole paragraphs and then conversations. So Chineseasy, especially if you're learning from from not going to China, Chineseasy is a good place to start, definitely. Also, when you decide that you want to start speaking, get friends that speak Mandarin. I know this is extremely stereotypical, but get friends that speak Mandarin. And then after you badger your friends that speak Mandarin to speak Mandarin to you, because you have to badger them just in general. It's pretty weird sometimes. I've been told that it's very weird that I speak Mandarin in general, and people sometimes are hesitant to even speak to me in Mandarin. But it's kind of a necessary evil to annoy your friends that speak it, to just make them speak with you. Sorry. Cool, so now you have a person that speaks to you in Mandarin. Great. Now you need to spend time understanding how to actually speak. And when I say that, I mean spend time going through and listening to the way words sound. And I'm pulling out a piece of paper here because I think it's extremely important. And writing down how the word sounds to you in English, which is extremely, I think, the most difficult part of picking up the language in general, are the sounds in English the sounds in Mandarin that are not actually in English. Picking those up and being able to work with them really well and at a reasonably fluent level is the hardest part of Mandarin, and it seems like my pencil is lost. No matter. So for instance, the sound in 这个. So the word 这个 means this, or this one, right? 这个. In Chinese, the 这 sound, I don't know any other word in the entire English language that has that sound. So being able to make that sound on a native basis in random words for 这个 or 真的 or 这 or 这张, I don't know, whatever you want to use it for is kind of required, or else your Chinese is going to end up sounding really strange and Americanized. It will always sound Americanized, but people will sometimes not be able to even understand you if the sound is not correct. So for instance, being able to perfect the 这 sound and 这个, I started off when I wrote down my words, I'd write them down in pinyin. Then I'd write them in the phonetic way that I would pronounce them. So I would just be like J, 这个, J J U U G A H. 这个. And then over time, I was just able to immediately just recall the way it sounded, and so whenever I pronounce things in Mandarin and Pinyin, oftentimes I will get the way that it's supposed to sound on the first time correct. Other words that I used to do this with was like tuswa. Oh my god, getting a t, and like in Mandarin from tuswa down is like, oh, it's so hard. Like tuswa or towu, the to. It feels like TWT. It feels like TSW. Twa, 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 twa. So getting all those sounds down to be able to make yourself flawlessly speak some things, or at least like on a reason to not to a level to where people understand you. Like you won't like be saying. Actually, I don't even know how to mispronounce these things now because I've been saying them correctly for so long. So like, but you know what I mean. You'll be able to really enhance the way that your Mandarin sounds when you pick up these sounds that are just not in the English language, and being able to recall them immediately. Watch media and listen to media and just do media in general. So I'll probably link like a Spotify playlist of my favorite Chinese bops down in the bottom. But Chinese songs, watching TV shows, like Wang Zhar is probably one of the reasons why I recently have been pretty keen on using some types of modern pop culture references when I speak to people in Mandarin. And like things like that are all reasonable ways to be able to expose yourself and have like semi-immersion when you're away from the country. So that I'll like post links to some of my favorites down below. Quizlet. Quizlet will literally be your best friend. Promise you. Even if you decide that you don't want to learn how to read, being able to just recall things using Quizlet and just the way it sounds. You can literally put the Quizlet in your headphones and walk to class or to go to work, or while you're sitting in a dining room or whatever. Literally just going through a set of Quizlets really quickly, even if you don't get all the words on the first try, is the most amazing way to force yourself to practice, like listening especially. So yeah.